So good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. My name is Peter Burnett. I'm a sales director with Mushroom Solutions, and I'm based in San Jose in California. I will kick us off today with a welcome and brief introduction to today's presenters. So with that said, I welcome everyone to the webinar. I hope that you find it informative, interesting, and also that you find it valuable. So on the call with me today is our CEO, Srinivas Komalapati. If you can wave, Srini, thank you.
Hello. Yeah.
Srini is also based in San Jose in California. And then we also have Srinivasa Varaparla, who's our COO. And Srinivasa is located in Minneapolis in Minnesota. Please give us a wave, Sri.
Hi, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining.
And then we have Debasish Panda. Debasish is a technology specialist, and Debasish is located in Hyderabad in India.
Hello, everyone.
So yeah, thank you. Thanks, Debasish. So it's great to meet everyone on the call today and look forward to the webinar. Srinivas, can you move that up to the next slide, please? Thank you. So here's our agenda for our call. I'm going to provide a brief overview of Mushroom Solutions. I'll talk about generative AI market trends and also discuss some industry-specific use cases. We will then hand it over to our CEO, Srinivas Komalapati, who will take us through the rest of the presentations, enabling enterprise adoption, and we'll follow that with a few demonstrations. And then we'll have a Q&A session, and I encourage you all to please go ahead and submit your questions in the chat. So don't wait for us to get to that point. Please just go ahead and get your question in. If you can move it on to the next slide, please, Srinivas. Thank you. So Mushroom Solutions is a software solutions corporation. We're actually headquartered in San Jose in California. Our primary areas of expertise revolve around automation, IoT, and augmented and virtual reality. We specialize in serving diverse industry verticals, including healthcare, life sciences, manufacturing, retail, banking, financial services, and last but certainly not least, energy and utilities. So really what sets us apart is our commitment to innovation and efficiency through our pre-existing accelerators and frameworks, which allow us to help you expedite use case realization. And in addition to our solutions offerings, Mushroom Solutions also provides various engagement models, delivery options, professional services to cater to the unique needs of our clients. So at the heart of our operations are our core values, and those are customer focus, the top one, communications, agility, and innovation. These principles guide us in delivering high-quality solutions and fostering strong collaborative relationships with our clients. So our goal at the end of the day at Mushroom Solutions is to enhance your life by leveraging cutting-edge technologies and our existing experience. So can you take it up to the next slide? Thanks, Sri. So generative AI. So generative AI is poised to revolutionize various industries by unlocking the power of automated creativity and efficiency. This cutting-edge technology leverages advanced machine learning models to generate content, including text, images, audio, and video with remarkable precision and novelty. Next slide, please, Srini. So on the side, as you can see on the slide, so per Gartner's forecasts, the cumulative aggregate growth rate, CAGR, of 24.4% from 2023 to 2030. So this trajectory indicates a tremendous surge in the generative AI market, which is anticipated to soar to an impressive $207 billion by 2030. That's a huge amount of money, up from 44.89 billion, which is the valuation now in 2023. So as you can see in the graph, Gen AI is at the peak of expectations, which essentially means that we have 2 to 5 years of time to take advantage of this technology. You can see that down on the bottom left-hand side. If we don't get onto this journey now, we probably will miss the bus and may lose our competitive advantage. And obviously that's not a good thing. And as you can see also on the top right-hand side of the slide, 58% of people are currently experimenting, 63% are discussing it at some point, some are taking it as their top priority, and many see potential positive benefits rather than the risks attached to it. So it really is time to embrace and productize the technology so that we stay competitive. Also, as you can see, there's some key trends that are expected to drive the growth of generative AI. You can see that on the top right-hand side. Actually, I don't know if you can see that. You may not be able to, so I'll read them for you. So increasing availability of data, the development of more powerful computing hardware, and the growing awareness of the benefits of generative AI. So those are some of the key trends driving growth. So really, in conclusion, generative AI is a game changer across various verticals, from content creation to healthcare, finance, art, manufacturing, and customer service. Its ability to automate creative tasks, generate valuable insights, and optimize processes promises to drive innovation and improve productivity, and deliver substantial cost savings. So embracing generative AI will enable organizations to stay ahead of the curve and increasingly competitive and rapidly evolving landscape. I think I've got everything there. The next slide, yeah, please. Industry-specific verticals. So yeah, there are several use cases that we can apply to Gen AI across industries. For example, in healthcare, we use it for generating questionnaires, for eligibility checks, to pre-screen participants for clinical trials recruitment, and also and for use cases like medical imaging, AI can generate synthetic medical images to augment limited data sets for training diagnostic and research models. And then in the case of clinical assistance, we use it to process clinical notes, to extract meaningful patient data. And in the banking and financial services world, we use it to process financial documents and several other use cases. And then lastly, in retail, it will help to generate marketing content, product documentation, etc. So these use cases are many. There are lots here that this technology can be applied to across various industries, as I mentioned earlier. So we'll take a closer look at some of these as we go through the remainder of the slides. And at this point, I'd like to hand it over to our CEO, Srinivas Komalapati. Thanks, Srinivas.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Peter, for all that. Greetings, everyone. I'm Srinivas Komalapati, CEO for Mushroom Solutions. Today, I'm honored to discuss the facilitation of enterprise adoption of generative AI technologies. In this presentation, I will briefly introduce Gen AI and its impact on enterprises, and the overall technology landscape in terms of the evolution and where the current state of art is, and various challenges and considerations that we need to consider in adopting this particular technology for various business purposes. And the most important thing that I would like to cover is the Mushroom Solutions strategic approach in terms of how we enable this particular adoption, followed by a couple of reference architectures and how we implemented this across some of our customers. With at least I have like 6 demonstrations that I will go through, time permits. And finally, we get into the Q&A. And if you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat so that we can answer those questions for you. So let's dive into generative AI. So the game changer. So first of all, it is not just artificial intelligence. It is nowadays, I would call it as artificial creativity, autonomously creating diverse content. From text generation to data extraction to building conversational AI interfaces to doing image synthesis, audio generation, creative content generation. It's a powerhouse of possibilities. In short, like generative AI is transforming industries. It doesn't follow instructions. It actually creates them for you. If you really need some instructions, generative AI can create instructions for you. So let's get ready for the future of creativity and innovation with this particular technology. And let's explore the transformative power of generative AI and its profound impact on enterprises. Gen AI, as I mentioned, is not just a tool. It's a creative partner. So what it means is it amplifies the human creativity by inspiring new ideas, assisting in the creative process, and expanding the realm of possibilities. In the business world, time is money. So Gen AI shines by automating content creation, saving lots of valuable time and resources compared to the manual methods. Gen AI is not just a follower, it's a leader in innovation. Enterprises gain competitive advantage by leveraging it for unique features, personalized customer experiences, and providing innovative solutions. In essence, Gen AI is a transformative force, reshaping how we approach creativity, efficiency, and competition. It's a collaborator that sparks ideas, the efficiency booster that saves the resources, and the innovation engine for enterprises. So with that, I hope may your creativity be amplified, your efficiency be heightened, and your competitive advantage be secured through these incredible possibilities that Gen AI can unfold for us. With that, let's explore the ever-evolving landscape of Gen AI, where every step forward shows us new possibilities. The Gen AI landscape has undergone remarkable evolution. So starting from the traditional deep learning techniques with RNNs and other things, so now with the latest and greatest GPT models. So at the forefront of all these Gen AI technologies nowadays is the leader, which I would call it as GPT models, setting the benchmarks for large language models. So these leaders, whether commercial or open source, have redefined what's possible in the natural language understanding and generation. Some of the giants in the industry are driving innovation on a global scale, showcasing the immense potential of AI in various applications. On the open source front, we discover some of the gems like Plan and the Little Llama. So these platforms are democratizing access to advanced tools, empowering developers and researchers to contribute to the growth of AI. So as we journey deeper, we encounter vector databases that play a crucial role in storing custom embeddings, enabling development of highly customized models tailored to your specific needs. So beyond language, Gen AI landscape extends its power to like image and audio generation. Models like DALL-E and OpenAI's work on audio generation showcase the diverse applications of AI in creative content generation. For those who seek to retrain their large language models, open source datasets like Red Pajama and Common Crawl are offering valuable datasets, and these datasets become the building blocks for refining and enhancing the AI. So in this dynamic landscape, the power to shape the future of AI is within our hands, because there's so many technologies, so many open source tool sets that are available, including the data sets. So whether you lean on industry leaders or you explore open source possibilities or leverage data sets for retraining, the journey promises innovation and discovery. So with that, our journey for adoption begins by acknowledging challenges and embracing a holistic approach. Success relies not just on addressing these challenges, but on our commitment to adopt continuously. So we have challenges within GenAI, starting from ethical considerations like in ensuring fairness, equity, and transparency, on all the way to regulatory compliance, data quality, security, accountability, and trust. So there are several challenges in enabling this adoption in a given enterprise. I won't go through all the challenges, but we will see how our suggested approach considers them all in ensuring successful adoption of this technology. So that's on the challenges and considerations. And now let's deep dive into GenAI enterprise adoption approach, which is a journey. It is not just about adopting technology. It is about unleashing innovation, bridging human expertise, and shaping ethical scalable features. Adoption starts by identifying the use cases, unleashing the power of GenAI in targeted applications. The next is comprehensive training. We have to make everybody as a hero because of this technology. So comprehensive training empowers our teams, ensuring that they are equipped for generative AI journey. Another critical element is the adoption. In terms of the adoption, is the human in the loop integration. It is not just about the machines, it's about harmony. We need workflows where human expertise and AI work together seamlessly, enabling a symphony for efficiency. Collaborative development is another important element in the process of adoption. So this is where the magic happens. Like people like data scientists, domain experts, and end users are working like a dream team, fueled by continuous user feedback. And one of the critical elements in enabling the adoption or ensuring success is to have customization of various types of models. So we have to craft various customized models with precision, aligning them perfectly to our business needs. So that's a very critical element as part of the adoption process. And we should know how to customize those models. And we'll showcase how we have customized some of our models for various business use cases later. So the most other important thing is to have template-driven content generation and data extraction. Content generation and data extraction, they are not just like wild processes. So they are structured creativity, and we need templates to guide the users in the right way. So that's very essential, and we have a solution that actually talks about how we can have templates defined to enable for the users to generate the content or extract data from various types of data sources. And as I mentioned before, ethical considerations is very essential, especially when we need to make sure that the decision making of these AI engines is not biased. And we need to make sure that there is a fairness, equity, and transparency in these particular decision outputs that the AI is generating. So in our GenAI world, we are not just managing data, we are the guardians of the data. So we need to implement robust governance and security mechanisms in enabling better adoption. Systems integration is another important element, and this is not a puzzle, it's a seamless fusion, and we need to have GenAI to become an integral part of our various application workflows or the business workflows. And review and workflow is another important element, and these are not the roadblocks. These are the strategic green lights, and we need every step to align with our organizational needs. Monitoring is another essential element, and it is not just observation. It is the real-time evaluation. We need commitment to continuously monitor and continuously improve our approach in leveraging these technologies. And very critical element, I've seen lots of people asking the questions about how do we make sure that we are compliant with the GDPR, how do we get compliant with HIPAA and several industry standards. Compliance is not just a checkbox, it's a guided adherence. So there is a reason why the standards exist. So we need to make sure that we align our journey with data protection regulations and ethical guidelines. And one of the important elements in having proper success story around Gen AI is to have right resource allocation strategy. So it is resource allocation is not distributing your resources. It is about strategic deployment. So we need your resource. We need our resources strategically positioned to have the maximum impact. And most important thing is to have scalability testing. So sorry, scalability planning. So scalability planning is not just for today, it's for the future ready. So we need to have our Gen AI solutions to scale effortlessly with increased data volumes. And one of the critical elements is user acceptance. So there are a lot of concerns around the trust in terms of the outputs that these Gen AI solutions produce. So we need to make sure that testing is not just about finding bugs; it's about seamless integration. And we need to address various user concerns and optimize interfaces for a smooth user experience. And one of the few last elements is feedback mechanisms. So feedback is not just an input, it's a loop. So it's a commitment to listen and evolve. And we need to have continuous improvement in our Gen AI journey. And one of the critical elements is metrics. So metrics are not just numbers, they are our strategic indicators, helping us to evaluate, communicate the impact of Gen AI on our businesses, on our business outputs. So last but not the least is documentation and reporting. Documentation is not just about doing some paperwork. It is the transparency mechanism. We need to keep our stakeholders informed about the status and performance of our Gen AI implementations. So in conclusion, our approach is not just about adopting Gen AI, it is about shaping the future where innovation, collaboration, and ethical considerations converge for scalable success. So this is a brief about our overall approach. So now we just discussed a way to use Gen AI in the business. And now we are introducing a model for it, like a kind of reference architecture in terms of how we have implemented in several situations. So this model focuses on the idea of humans being involved in the process, which is very essential. And it uses a system where you have different types of roles, as you can see on the top. You have prompt author, content generator, content approver, content mapping admin, and the participants or different types of users. So having a role-based access system and having the content goes through this review, modification, and approval process, and finally getting published to the applications where they can finally consume this particular data that this Gen AI technology is producing. So this model combines whatever you see in this particular slide, combines human knowledge with advanced AI, creating a system not only speeds up the content creation, but also ensures accuracy and compliance because humans are involved in the process and humans carefully oversee this particular process. So this particular overall solution, what we are presenting here, is built on some open source technology stack. And this can be deployed on premises or even on the cloud. And it offers package options like Docker for deployment on VMs or servers, and also as a help package as Kubernetes for scalability. So that's a brief about this particular reference architecture. And the same model we can apply to handle several other use cases. And one of the use cases here we're trying to demonstrate here is email document data extraction. So in a typical organization, you will get lots of service tickets to your various ticketing systems, be it like ServiceNow or Salesforce. And you need to have a mechanism to process those emails rather than manually processing them, by humans, which typically takes like 3 to 5 business days. And using the Gen AI kind of technologies, we have done automation in such a way that all those service tickets, all those requests are being addressed in 2 to 3 minutes rather than waiting for 3 to 5 business days. So, and in this particular case, what we are trying to explain is where when somebody sends an email with certain data in the body or in the subject, and there could be lots of data in the documents, how do we process these documents, and how do we classify them, and then how do we extract meaningful information from those documents so that we can use it for either in one scenario to close the tickets or in another scenario to act on this particular data or to publish it to the downstream systems. So with that, I will get into the demonstration. If you have any questions on this so far, please feel free to put your questions. I will briefly check to see if anybody has any questions so far. So with that, let me go through the demonstration. So here we're trying to demonstrate 6 different types of demonstrations. Like one is about how do we create content or how do we generate various types of content for a large pharma customer. So where they are doing various types of clinical trials, and they need to do eligibility checks, and they need to, have this particular information surfaced in a form that a normal human can understand rather than using all the medical languages, and also doing language translations so that they can also serve it in various types of languages that the users are coming from. And there is another use case about email document processing. We'll talk about it. Test case generation. And we have a tool like that can take you through the whole software engineering lifecycle, starting from like once you have a requirements document, how do we, generate the design? How do we generate the test cases? To how do we generate the code even in some cases? So using our DocuGenX tool, and also how do we extract data from various types of documents that we're getting. And there are other tools that we have which will help, like using different types of GenAI techniques like GANs. So how do we generate test data, including the relational as well as tabular types of data? And last but not the least is the conversational AI interfaces. So we have employed GenAI technologies heavily in building various types of conversational bots in assisting various types of customer scenarios. One of the example is our own website, mushroom.solutions. If you go there, you would be able to see a chatbot of ours, which is again built on using GenAI technologies. So I will go through some of these demonstrations. So let me start with the content creation and generation demonstration here. So in this particular demonstration, as you can see, so this is our DocuGenX tool. So the key concept in our tool is having a workspace where users can log in and then they can create their own set of tasks for themselves, like either in terms of generating new content or processing documents. So this is the concept of a typical workspace, and in which you can have multiple types of templates that you can create. So here we're creating 3 types of templates, like it is either to check your eligibility, so check the eligibility, or producing summarization of the data, or generating the questionnaires. So these are some of the questionnaires that we're creating, and then the user can provide the prompt in terms of the question text is nothing but the prompt. So the user can add their prompt as part of the system. So once the user has provided that, and there is also a REST API interface for this, you can also do the same thing, everything, and then you can add your data. And once you add your data, we'll display the document on one side and provide various options, including providing an option for the users to have the custom prompts and also define their own generation names. And once they hit the button click, they will be able to generate various types of outputs. In this case, what we're generating is a kind of questionnaire that can be used to do the eligibility checks in the clinical trials process. So on the right-hand side, what you see is the IE criteria, which is nothing but inclusion and exclusion criteria in the pharma trials. So we take this particular document that has lots of technology-related, sort of pharma-related information specific to a clinical trial, and translate that into a questionnaire so that can be published into a pre-screening application. So once you are able to generate that particular questionnaire, you can send it for the review and approval process. And once you submit it for the approver can log in, and then they can look at the same document by themselves and see, is the content okay, or they want to make any changes to these particular questionnaires. and they can either approve or reject this particular questionnaire. If they feel like making any modifications, they can go ahead and make changes to this particular data. And once it is done, then there are several options. So once the content is approved, you can either download that particular content into like Excel or Word documents, or you can also publish it to the downstream systems. Here we're just showing a simple case of like downloading whatever that is produced. But in other cases, we have direct integrations to the consuming applications also. As soon as we produce this questionnaire, the data gets pushed into the pre-screening app so that the users can actually start seeing the questionnaires when they want to do eligibility checks, either for the trial-based or disease-based clinical trials. And the same tool we are employing, not only just to generate the questionnaire, but also in this case, we are generating the layman text, so like in a kind of information that you can publish it to the normal people, not like somebody who has a pharmaceutical degrees. So this is the layman text, and the same information, we have an option where we can convert this particular text into other languages. Like you can choose like from English, you can choose like I think in this demo we're choosing Spanish, and then you can translate whatever that information that we have generated into other languages as well. And the same process, again, the whole review approval process, the human in the loop concept. So that is a brief about this particular demonstration. We would love to hear your feedback in the comments. So that's about the content creation and generation tool. So likewise, we have other tools. So the other one is email document processing. So Mushroom Solutions being a solutions-oriented organization, so our goal is to build such kind of accelerators so that we can, reuse these kind of accelerators to realize various types of use cases for our customers. So what we do is we build these solutions and we provide it to our customers in such a way that they can tailor these solutions to their needs. So the same DocuGen tool we are using to read emails from the email boxes. And in this case, like, we receive certain types of emails. I believe it's called as ICF form, informed consent forms. And then in that, you want to extract various types of data elements. For example, you want to extract compound name, research facility, clinical laboratory facility, study conducted by the investigation. So these are some of the data elements that is buried into that particular email. Either the drug name is in the subject, the compound name is in the subject, or the actual the form is there as part of the attachment. So what we do is using our email processing add-on on the DocuGen X tool, we again read all this information and we display it in such a way that, as you can see, the form on one side, and we also do categorization of this form, saying that okay, this is form, sorry, it is not ICF, it's a form 1572 form. So this is another type of form that is used in the pharma industry. So once we have this form, one is like we get different types of documents, and there are like at least 20, 30 different types of document categories. So we auto-categorize these documents as soon as we receive them, and then apply the right template to retrieve the right information from those documents. So that's what you see here. So the research facilities, UPMC, that is University of Pittsburgh Medical Center, clinical laboratory facilities, first diagnostics, and study what is the study name and what is the compound name. So this is the one of the medicine. So this is how we are employing GenAI technology in not only generating content for doing eligibility checks, as you saw in the previous demonstration, but also like in processing various types of unstructured data and then extracting meaningful information and also performing language translations and other things. So that's a brief on the email document processing capability. Sorry, to take a small sip. So, and then we have other tools like, as I mentioned about test case generation tool. So this is the same tool that we have customized it specific to software engineering artifacts generation. So here, once the user again comes and creates, and in this case, here we are generating the artifacts for a home buying application. So we have received, like there's one prospect where they want to build a home buying application. Say they want to revolutionize the real estate industry. So whatever it is, that's good, and we support that, and we accelerate that journey by using tools and technologies like this. So once you define create a workspace and create a project within that, it's called home buying app, and then you can create various types of the data extraction procedures or document generation procedures. So we want to generate design documents, test cases, code. You can go on defining any kind of templates that you want to define and appropriate prompts around those. And once you are able to do that, the system will automatically generate, and you can add your requirements document in this. And there is also REST API for doing all of it. And once you have this requirements document and we generate at the button click, we generate the various types of use cases, including the data that they can use as an input for each one of the use case, what is including the exception scenarios, and whatever that we need. So everything is fully configurable and customizable. So what we're showing is is one of the examples, but you can configure it in such a way to generate whatever content that you want to, generate. And finally, you can request it for approval, or you can make changes. And finally, you can download that information. So the same concept goes on. So that's on those three tools. And the document data extraction you already saw as part of the email document processing a little bit. So I will go into the test data generation tool. So this is using a different type of technology. It's called GANs, Generative Adversarial Networks. So here we generate, and the scenario here is we take a CPQ, configure price quote system, which is typically like there are companies who offer these kind of solutions like Salesforce CPQ or Infor CPQ. So many CPQ solutions out there. But end of the day, it's all about quotation process, how you can configure and how you can add various types of line items. And we have seen scenarios where a customer has like 20,000 types of products. So that means 20,000 line items. They can add, they can configure different types of quotes, they can create various discounting, they can create various pricing rules. So there is a lot of complexity in actually testing out a CPQ system with so many products that are available. So this particular tool, what we have is the one that takes those quote line items and quote initial data sets and then generate the data, and you can define what fields you want to use as a primary column to what are the other fields that you want us to actually generate and all that. So then there are some help guidelines and all that. So once you do all that, we are given input as a quote and line items. It will generate you humongous, depending on how many number of data sets that you want to generate, the line items that you want to generate. You can generate those many synthetically. So this will ensure that there is no privacy issues. We are not compromising any kind of PII data. Everything is secure because this is all synthetic data. We even generate URLs. We even generate the product codes, including the pricing, images, everything. So this is how we are leveraging the GenAI technologies in terms of generating various types of test data, maintaining the relationships. That's very important because it's not just we are generating tabular data. Of course, we can also do that, but generating relational data is also something that we can do. So that's how we are using, we're applying the GenAI technologies in some of our customer scenarios. The last demonstration I would go through before I open up for Q&A is the conversational AI bots. So this here also, like as I mentioned, one of the chatbot that we have on our website is also built on conversational AI interfaces. So here we are taking some documents, like you can take any kind of documents, and we have done in such a way that we have taken, like if you give the website URL of your company or your website, we can build a chatbot in few hours. So essentially, we read through all your sitemap. we actually extract all, like in one scenario we have done, like they have like 15,000 web pages, and we built a chatbot on top of all of it in like matter of few hours using our chatbot framework, leveraging the GenAI technologies. And what happens is like, and once, and you can either give custom documents like PDFs and other things, or we can crawl and get your data from your website. And finally, what you see is a chatbot that answers your questions. So in this case, the chatbot can answer reasoning questions, not only just information retrieval questions. Like here saying having red color on the back, does it mean chicken pox or something? So, and not only just giving the answers, it also provides you the lineage in terms of from where this particular information is retrieved. Okay, so if it is a website that we are doing, so we can even display like from which page this information is being surfaced and various sources that we display. So this can go on. You can ask any type of questions. We get these answers and display it. And if you don't want to have this kind of lineage being displayed in the public website, like as you see in our website, like Mushroom Nut Solutions, we can omit that. We have also integrated this kind of chatbots with the other open source chatbot technologies like Rasa. We have very good expertise in building any kind of conversation interfaces using GenAI technologies. So with that, we're done with the demos. And what I would like to propose here is, like, if you're interested in anything that we just talked about so far, we, as Mushroom Solutions, we can offer 3 types of things for you. So either we can do one-on-one workshop with you to understand your scenario better, so that we can propose or advise you, or we can give you specific solutions to your specific needs, or we can give you access to our DocuGenX tool. So please reach out to us. We can give access to our tool so that you can, test it out using your own data for various scenarios. I've seen companies, they have like 200, 300 page documents and then like some kind of standards based organization. So they want to summarize the documents. And there are companies like who wants to generate various types of software test cases. So the use cases can be different, but we have solutions probably that can address most of the use cases is what we think. Be it conversational interfaces, be it data extraction, be it content generation, we can certainly help you on that. And if you want us to do any kind of proof of concept at our cost, we are also willing to do that for you. So with that, thank you for listening to my presentation. And please feel free to ask any questions, and thank you.
Yeah, thanks very much. Srini, I'm looking at our chat. I don't see any questions in there, so please don't be shy to raise your hand or to put a question in chat. Still have a few minutes left, I believe.
Or if you have any comments, questions.
I think it looks like we're good. If any of us.
Okay, let's see. If anyone wants to speak up also, it's fine. Like, I don't know if they can speak.
Sure. Thank you, Srinivas. This is this is Srinivas too. And so I just wanted to say that the presentation on generating a question bank from a knowledge base was a very nice demo, and it's actually a very interesting demo. And uh, it was just wondering, I mean, like, are there other other than the medical field, have you seen that type of application being applied in other fields?
Yeah, of course. Like specifically take retail, right? If you want to generate any kind of frequently asked questions around the product documentation, And that's where these kind of solutions certainly can help. Or you go to manufacture, they will have tons of product manuals and lots of technical documentation that they want to surface information from, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the possibilities are defined based on what problems you want to solve, and we certainly I think the similar solution can be applied, at least to my knowledge, in the manufacturing, retail, financial sector, any kind of high-tech business where you have lots of documents that you want to process to create a new content based on that. In marketing, sales, this is all helpful in several scenarios. Yes.
Oh, very nice. Very nice. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions, anyone? Comments?
I believe they're all muted. Only
Yeah, we just.
No, sir, I'm just doing unmuting them.
Yes, Rini, this is Bhaskar Bala here. I just posted my question here. How can organizations effectively integrate generative AI into their existing workflows?
Did you post the question? Sorry.
Yes.
I don't see any questions.
Yeah,
Or
it
is
is in
it me?
Q&A, not in the chat.
Yeah, it's in the Q&A.
Oh, it's in the Q&A. It's loading up for mistake. No, I don't see anything for me. Oh, yeah, it's coming in. Okay, now I see. There are some. Okay, see. How can organizations effectively integrate Gen AI in their existing workflows? So one easy peasy option is the APIs. Like if you have REST APIs, or if you want to have systems that can connect using some kind of interface touch points, certainly that's one way that you can integrate easily. The second is depending on what kind of workflow you're talking. Like if there is a company who is generating content manually today, like if somebody is producing that manually and somebody is sending it for somebody's approval, you can use our tool, or any something like that, where you can have humans getting involved as part of the process, where they can generate whatever that they want to generate and then submit it for review and approval process to their approvers and then take it through. So integrations wise, the manual and semi-manual workflows, those can be automated using some of the HITL concepts that we talked about. And technology wise, we have different types of integrations, like in one of the slides for the email document processing, I was talking about. We have like REST API is one, webhooks is another one, like where you want to listen to an event once we are done with the generation or data extraction, then we can trigger that event and your consuming application can actually, get notification on that, and then you can process it further. You have options to export data out into like files, flat files, or even store it in the database and provide access. So the integrations can happen through various channels like this.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Srinivas. Thank you.
Actually, Srinivas, if we don't have any other questions, I want to go on a limb and say add something to what Bhaskar just said. A long time ago, very, very long time ago, I used to work in workflow solutions. I mean, this was a time when everybody was looking at migrating from paper-based systems into automated workflows that had which had human tasks and where people would actually intervene in the process flow and make decisions on which direction, what should be the next step. And in that workflows, there was something called a decision table. And the decision table was very simple, if then else statement. And you basically defined all your rules in that decision table to make decisions on how the workflow should proceed. And like it's just, I mean, this just occurred to me as Bhaskar mentioned it. I think AI can actually make many of those decisions. And you don't have to go through a very complex. I mean, you can write a PDF document, upload it, and probably like the way you have that software that generates questions, right? I mean, I'm sure it can generate business rules that can dictate how the workflow should move forward. I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah.
Very interesting, right? Very interesting.
Yes, Srinivas. Thank you.
Wonderful, guys. Thank you so much for attending this webinar, and we hope this session has been useful to all of you. Please do reach out to us with any additional questions. Be happy to help you.